The topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Laws of Empowering Entrepreneurs. I am your host, Blanca, and this is my esteemed co-host, Natan Verkovsky, founder of the Essential Platform. How are you this morning, my friend?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I and everyone from the Essential Academy say hello. Look at us coordinating.
Why? Is that coincidence or is that the universe?
That's the universal coincidence. Yeah.
I love it. You just coined a new word. That's the name of your next book, The Universal Coincidence. I like it. I like it. Well, I've been thinking a lot about coincidence lately and all these exciting things happening. So last night we went to the crypto event in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
What was it?
It was epic. There was over 200 people attended the event. And one of the biggest leaders in crypto was there. His name is Bitcoin Rodney. And he's a massive public speaker. He travels the world, literally. And it was very exciting. But the part that I want to tell you that relates to coincidence is, so Chris Chiaffi last night won $1,000 money reward program in the raffle of 200 people, my guest. And he was the first one to be announced. But I said to the universe, I said, Chris comes every Tuesday to networking at 11. He came to the Global Vision Conference on Saturday. And now he came to this crypto event. He has shown up. Dear God, dear universe, please let Chris win. And then he won.
That's all it is. It's a wonderful ask. And it's rarely an ask for yourself. So yeah, that's the secret there.
And what is your number one law of empowering entrepreneurs this morning?
Should we not remind ourselves that every day is either a gift or a blessing? A gift is a good thing that's happening, that's quick and easy. It's a gimme. A blessing may take a little bit more work because it traditionally comes across as an obstacle, a difficulty, a challenge. But once you surmise it and overcome it, progress equals happiness. And then it truly becomes a blessing.
Interesting distinction. Have never thought about that differential between a gift versus a blessing. So food for thought. And that's why Natan's my co-host, because he wakes up our minds. He introduces us to entrepreneurs from all around the world. And I understand that today we have a professor from the Academy. So do tell, who is our guest of honor today?
Ladies and gentlemen, today you get to meet Dr. Coach A.M. Williams. And he, besides being a personal optimization coach, best-selling author, very in-demand public speaker, you'll soon understand why. He's a breakthrough performance strategist. Businesses hire him to get boss-level growth. They use a secret sauce of leverage that he comes through, and he comes highly referred, highly acclimated, highly educated, looking at bachelor's in science and business and finance, master's in management, MBA, looking at a doctorate of management and organization in leadership and business administration and management. So somebody who knows and understands it from so many different levels, academia and pedagogically, personally. And he's somebody who's larger than life on his own, has an incredible story, an incredible background. And I haven't even talked about his sports background yet. So let me tell you, you guys are in for a treat.
All right, well, let's bring what an introduction. Let's bring Coach Williams to the stage, so to speak. Good morning, Coach Williams. How are you today?
Man, good morning. And if it gets any better, it's going to take another body. I'm great this morning.
And where are you in the world today? Where do you live?
I'm in North Carolina, beautiful North Carolina.
Okay. What is the meaning of that poster behind you? I see a very
It's called
powerful
Leverage Without Limits.
leverage without limits. What a great tagline. Is that the
Yeah,
tagline of your brand?
actually, it's the tagline of my brand, and is actually we're changing names. The company is going to be called Leverage Without Limits Consulting. And what Leverage Without Limits is that we show entrepreneurs how to enjoy the journey. We show them how to explore their true potential, and we show them how to exceed their expectations. So uh, through learning how to find the levers that you need. Our Archimedes said, if I have a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it, I can move the world.
Yep.
And so what we do is help entrepreneurs find the levers they need to literally be able to shift their entire life, and then them to explore their true potential and ultimately exceed their expectations.
Wow, that's incredible. Amazing. So what is the foundation? It sounds like you believe that my interpretation is that community is very important in the application of the principles you believe are important to succeeding. Community? Is that what I'm hearing? Or what's the key?
What I'm ultimately saying is that the root of it, our community is exceptionally important. Environment is everything. You can't grow a cactus in an environment where it's not able to grow. You can't grow things in environments that are counterproductive to its ability to be nurtured and grown the way that it should be. Gestation is exceptionally important, and the environment in which a thing is planted is rooted in is so important. So community is exceptionally important. But at the root of it all, Blanca, it's really about an individual's decision to become more.
I think that is so true. So what
That was amazing.
what I know
That was great. I was like, oh,
elevating our inner game and the choice to become more. If that's not empowering, what is? Now, how do you get people from that negative mindset to wanting and believing they deserve more?
So it has to start with vision. It has to start with vision. Blanca, if you, Natan, and I were sitting at a six-star hotel on December the 31st, and we were someplace, some exotic place in Australia or Paris, wherever, your choice. You decide. We'll get there. And we're sitting there in we just had dinner, and after dinner, you get AM. This has been the most amazing year of my life. My question to you, Blanca, is what would have to happen for you to say that? You know, the animal impala, it's not just a car, it's actually an animal. The impala is known to jump 10 feet in the air and 3 feet low. That you can go to a zoo and find them behind a 4 feet fence, and they will never try to jump. You know why? Because they can't see where they're jumping. And so when they can't see where they're jumping, they won't even try. So it's except important for you to understand where you're going. You have to be able to know where you're going before you make the leap. And most people don't make the leap because they have no true vision of where they're going.
I agree. We need a roadmap because you need a roadmap and you need the vision and then you need the system of actions to match the realization of the vision. So
Well, the
let's,
thing of
right?
it
Can I ask you
is,
guys?
you
Can I
can
ask
give
you?
them a system.
Oh no, go ahead, Coach. Sorry, I cut you in the middle of a sentence.
The thing of it is, man, we got tons of tools today. There is so much information out here, it's ridiculous. And the reason why I specialize in breakthrough performance is because despite the level of business growth material that currently exists, 84% of businesses never cross the six-figure mark. Only 4% of businesses ever cross the $1 million mark. So what does that tell us? It's not that people don't have information. What they don't have is the motivation, the driving force to get them off of the couch, get them out of the foyer of life, and give the gravitational pull to their next level. They don't have a driving force. There's no internal driving force to move them out of the foyer of opportunity and into the life that they want. So, having a plan is super important. But if you don't have the drive to take action on that plan, what is it exactly? It's an exercise in futility.
I agree. One of the things that I've learned is that yes, it's important to have a plan, but it's also important to break the plan into phases. So, for example, I set a goal that for 1 year, I was just going to network and create relationships, and I was going to build my circle and just focused on that. But and then now this year, I have a different goal, and then next year, I have a different goal. And then, so how far in advance should we planning these goals?
Well, here's the deal. If we're just planning goals with no vision, it's all low. What we have to do is we have to find the outcome that we want to have in life. Then reverse engineer what had to happen for us to get there. If we can make a trail back, when we talking about vision, we're talking about creating a place called done and working our way back to where we are today. Now, when we set a goal, we know what that goal leads to in the ultimate aspiration of getting us where we want, where we've been, that place called done. If we don't have a vision, we won't make the leap until we have created that thing that ultimately fulfills us and then reverse engineer, take steps back where we are, then we're all upstream. We're creating goals. We're taking elevators with no designation. We're on the elevator, but we don't know which floor we want to get off on. Why? Because we don't have the end in mind. So creating the vision is about creating an end in mind. Now, once you create it, you reverse engineer it. Can I get there this year? Maybe not. Maybe it's going to be a 3 year thing. So now I can create that 3 year. But it's super important to have that big vision, that long term vision, and reverse engineer it so you can identify the incremental steps, the month steps, the quarter steps, the semi-annual steps, the yearly steps to get me to where I'm going. I always know where I'm going. You would not get in your car and drive 3 hours without knowing where you're going.
You're
So you have to
absolutely
have the
right.
end in mind.
Say that again. That's a great quote.
So that's what
You have
it's
to have the
super
end in mind.
important. You have to have the end in mind. If you don't have an end in mind, where you going? When an entrepreneur comes to me and say, "Hey, man, I want to have $1 million business," I'm like, "Okay, what is that? Why is that important to you?" Ultimately, what I'm saying is understanding the business is basic. The business is not designed to replace your life. The business is
Exactly.
designed to help you manifest the life that you've already envisioned. So you
If you
need
don't
to
do
have
it that way,
a
it doesn't work.
$1 million business.
If you don't do it that way, it
It
doesn't
won't
work.
work.
That's the only
All
way to
right.
do it.
Yeah, you're right, Natan. If you don't do it that way, it doesn't work.
What you guys are looking at is a skateboard trick. There's exactly one out of 486 different angles that you could take that'll work, and 486 that will not. There's only one way to do this. That's it. It's special and magical. Before we have to go to commercial break, I just want to prep that everybody, when you come back, you're going to hear something about Coach from his background, taking a look at some cool contraptions around him and what that means. And I bet you, you don't hear nothing yet compared to what you're about to hear.
Wait, I also have to give a shout out. Harumi Anderson's watching us from Columbia, Indiana. Albert Wolf is watching. Johnny Regan says, making the choice to be more. It starts with vision. Love you, coach. It's this MBO with vision. Wow, so many friends, so many supporters of our first segment.
Yes.
I am so honored and grateful for our viewers this morning. Thank you. And I was so into the dialogue that I didn't even have a chance to look at these comments. So Jason, our Mr. Engineer, I want you to bring, when comments come in, I want you to bring those babies up, okay? Because I'm so focused on listening to what Coach is saying. So bring those comments up as soon as they pop in, Now, let's thank Tim Morecki. He's been a diamond sponsor of the Laws of Life platform. This is his 3rd year. And he's a personal injury attorney covering the entire state of Florida. He's a real estate attorney, and he's also our friend of the platform. Let's take a look at Tim's message. And we are back on the laws of empowering entrepreneurs with my amazing co-host, Natan Berkowski, founder of the Essential Academy, and our guest of honor, Coach Williams. So Natan, you teased us with a story, so do tell.
Coach Williams can completely defend himself on his own merits, where he gets to, what do you call those little things that just turbo boost things? You know, like back in the day when nobody understood about cars and we were watching Knight Rider and we saw him click a little button that said turbo boost. I'm like, that's not how turbos work at all. But it doesn't matter. That's what we thought. That's how turbos worked. And that's what we believed, and so that's what worked. Coach has several turbo buttons. Doesn't matter if you understand how turbo works, and that ain't it. The fact is you're watching him go through turbos and you can't help but feel supercharged. So in that capacity, some of the background that he's hinted at, besides the highest level of education that you can have, decades of expertise, where we're looking at personal background, personal integrity, personal story, personal strife, personal adversity, overcoming, to be able to stand in that truth, to be directly in alignment with source, to have his head and his heart in the right place, or like you, Blanca, he would not be invited to come join us. We have a private community. It's exclusive for a reason. Coach, share some of the personal stuff.
Well, I'll simply say this. Back in the year 2000, I went into the hospital and I was basically told that I had cysts on my spine. And if I didn't act now, I'd be dead in 10 days. And it was the best that ever happened to me in my life. So, what that did was put me on a path of orientations I never knew existed. The world of disability. I've seen people disabled, but I never knew the world of disability. I was diagnosed incomplete paraplegic in the year 2000, which basically means weakness in legs. It does not mean that you can't move your legs. It just means that you have extreme weakness. So the goal of putting a shunt in the cyst in my spine was to have it drain and ultimately allow me to rebuild the strength in my legs so that I can walk again and do that comfortably without fail or fatigue, fail or fatigue. So while I'm in the process of doing that, I had to be in a wheelchair. I was bound to a wheelchair and a bed bound condition. Okay. I spent years in hospital facilities, ICU, CC, acute care facilities. I stayed in 3 nursing homes. Why? Because during the operating time, I had contracted a deadly staph infection in the operating room, and it tried to take my life. And so, in addition to being physically impaired, I had this situation that was taking place. And so when most people were in their 30s and they were thinking, yo, man, you know what? I'm invincible. I got the whole world in front of me. And we think about starting families and all that. I was spending those times in these acute care facilities, nursing homes, ICUs, ICUs, watching people to the left and right of me die every 5 minutes. I was doing that. Went to a nursing home and they were rolling a person out that just died in the room they were taking me in. So I really, through that experience, got to see a side of life that I'd never seen before, never ever seen before. And all I could remember was like, okay, what did I do to get this place? What did I do to get in this? And I was mad with God. I was mad because I was here in this hospital. Nobody was coming to see me, no family, no friends, no anything. I was just upset with the world, everything. I was losing everything. I was in what I considered to be, a pre-prime of my life. And here I am going through all of this situation and reminded of something Earl Nightingale told Jim Rohn. He said, what you have at this moment in your life, you have attracted by the person you've become. If you don't have much, then you haven't become much. So at that point, I realized that I had the power, regardless of what my condition was, to change my life. And once I became open to it, I heard a still small voice in my head say, something in life can be leveraged to create something that you want. And then I came across that quote by Archimedes that said, if you have a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it, you can move your world. You can shift everything that you want to work in your favor. And through the power of leverage, despite being a bedbound condition for over 15 years, not only did I start a business, but I created a sustainable 6-figure business from a hospital bed in a business that I started in a hospital. I took, I got my first client in a hospital. And then I created a sustainable 6-figure business from a bed bound condition. And I was trained in the art of adversity and challenges. And therefore, I have learned how to take those challenges and rather allow them having them be obstacles and being in the way, I have learned how to dance with adversity and make obstacles the way for achieving what it is that I want.
Blanca, the day that I stop bringing you amazing people, you can just ask me to no longer be co-host.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. And I feel this is a gift. As you say, under the distinction, this would be a gift. You're a gift because it came so easily with that, but you really are an inspiration, Coach Williams. And what you went through lights up all of our hearts. I mean, and that you're vulnerable to share those obstacles that you went through. And is it hard for you to tell that story?
Not anymore,
Amen.
because while it contributes to my story, it's no longer my story.
Hmm.
Ooh, you
That's a
just
big one.
literally chills from the universe. Did you get chills too?
There's the hell yeah sign. The hell yeah sign came back, baby.
Wait a minute. We need a new sign.
Okay.
Chill, universe chills. It
Ooh.
started at the Global Vision
You have to
Conference.
look at the hair standing up. Yeah.
I started to get some really strange chills. I realized chills are a message from the universe. Do you agree with that, Coach and Natan?
Yeah, I do.
You do.
But
I
you know,
know.
it
Yeah.
lets us know what was happening is the inner us, the inner greatness within us that's being starved and deprived the opportunity to become its full expression is now sending signals through your body. And now your hair on your arms are raising, and all of these things. Why? Because you're feeding that giant within you. You're feeding the greatness within you. And it's saying, I want to eat. I want to live. I want to experience this world you're living
Life is
in. I
hungry.
want to show you how to do it through a different lens. I want to show you life through a different lens. I want you to see how different it would be if I took over. That's what it's doing.
Wow. I think you are born to be on stages. Is that one of your visions?
Oh, I do stages now. I do virtual stages. I have a live stages that I'm being booked for this year in the moment. You know,
Woo! Woo! Who's helping you?
entrepreneurs,
Who's helping you
small
book the
business owners.
stages?
Oh, I mean, I have amazing support systems. I have what we call power partners, and these are non-competitive partners that work together because every business. One of my mentors, Jay Abraham, he says that it's important for you to understand what people buy before what you sell, during what you sell, and after what you sell.
Wow.
It's super important to do that so that you know who to partner with. You got to know who to partner with.
Yeah.
Many of us, we don't get the results we want out of partnership because we don't understand who to partner with. We partner with people that either sell something before what we sell, during what we sell, or after what we sell.
That is
That's
an
how you
incredible.
create value to your clients.
You're 100% right on
Yeah,
that law of
I
being
agree.
an empowering entrepreneur. And we need to dig deeper on that law. I'm thinking two things. Number one, I'd like Coach Williams to be a guest of honor at the Laws of Life Summit.
Mm.
That's happening. And the second thing is I actually premiered this video on Barbara Ulmer's podcast. You're going to be
Okay.
seeing it, but I'm actually going to show it today too. Would you guys be open to seeing the compilation of the 28 shows that the Laws of Life created? Would you be open to seeing a 3-minute video?
I'm in.
All right. So I hope everybody's watching. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then
Everybody who's been in here, this is awesome.
Albert and Johnny and Harumi. It's just been so special. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and let's take a look. And this was my vision, Coach, just to give you a little introduction. My vision was to create webcasts, television shows. And we created 28 in the last 2 years, over 649 episodes. And then we custom built our Roku channel, which this show is on, in addition to 137 additional channels. So let's take a look at that compilation right now. Woo! What'd you guys think?
That was awesome.
So there you go. So I got to shorten that down to 1 minute. But yes, I'm so honored to
And
share
you gotta
that.
get past Dr. Phil at the end. That's the last guy that I sent you. We got like five more people since then. We got to extend that video, my dear.
Well, you know what we have to do next is we have to make a video about each show and how to set the template for those shows. But Coach, you'll definitely be a guest at our weekly Laws of Life Summit, and I want to thank everybody. Please share the laws of empowering entrepreneurs so that everybody can meet Coach Williams before he comes on to the Laws of Life Summit. So, I always ask this question: how did you meet Coach Williams?
I met him at a networking event. Thought he was one of the coolest people there. Wanted to know a little bit more background. He heard me speak. And between the two of us, I think it was right away just a synergy that said, oh, here's two people going on the same path in completely different ways. Maybe we should try to help each other out. Is that about right, Coach, or did I do that wrong?
No, you did it quite right.
Do you remember which event it was specifically?
I create a dozen internal instructor only events a month, 77 external stages a week. There's categorically no way for you to humanly even be connected to everything that we do. It's impossible. So, no, would be my short answer. No.
That's amazing. The outlets that you provide for the entrepreneurs is very multifaceted. So you're literally at a point where you can't even remember. But like you said,
But I think the person, I'd rather remember the person than the damn event. So,
so Coach, after all your adversity and going to hell and back, what's the number one lesson you learned? The number one law?
Become more. Become more. And if it's okay with you, I make it my life's mission to add value to people. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to just share three things that could help a person to become more. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So number one, you got to change your concept of self. Remember, everything that you have in your life currently, you've attracted by the person that you've become. You have to see yourself differently. Way to do that is that you have to begin. Every successful person operates in personal power. Every successful and great person, anybody who's doing anything great, operates in personal power. But personal power comes from personal responsibility. And personal responsibility comes from the ability to be personally responsible over the way you think and feel about yourself, over the outcomes you produce, and over the income you make. If you care more about what other people think about you than the way you think about you, or everything else is somebody else's fault, it's the environment, it's the economy. You won't take responsibility for the outcomes, and you don't take personal responsibility for your income. Jim Rome said, you don't get paid for the hour, you get paid for the value you bring. So if you won't take personal responsibility, you cannot operate in personal power. So the first thing, you got to change your concept of self. The second thing is you got to get clarity on vision. Remember, impalas don't jump what they don't see first. If you don't create the vision first, if you don't do that, then where are you going? How can you win a game when you don't even understand how it's played? You can't do it. So you don't have a vision for where you want to go. You're just basically, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, and the goals are quite myopic. Simply just saying I want to create more income is very myopic. You want to know why that income is necessary, why these things are necessary, so you can ultimately achieve what you want. So, getting clarity on vision is huge. And then, lastly, but most importantly, we got to care about people. We don't, one of the biggest reasons entrepreneurs are not getting the success they want in life is because they're too busy trying to get people, get leads, get this, get that, get qualified people, get such and such and such. But we don't care enough about people. We don't value people enough. See, when you value people, you understand everybody has a plan for their life. Do you know there are no two same fingerprints on in people in the whole entire earth? We're so unique. We have our own fingerprints. So everybody has a plan. Everybody has greatness within them. We also have to think about ways that we can add value to people, and we do that by understanding. We're compassionate. We want to understand their pain. We want to be able to understand what it is that they truly want the way they see it. It's not about diagnosing their pain. No, it's about understanding their pain and what they need to get them out. So then, once we think about it, we got to look for ways to add value to people. What kind of things can I position, or how can I position things to be able to help this person? How can I explore the multiple dimensions in that individual to assess their strengths, their weaknesses, their gifts, their talents and abilities, and also where they fall short. Because you have to be acutely aware of what you're great at and what you're not great at, so that you never confuse the two. Okay. And then nextly, you got to do things that add people. When you do things, you got to offer them opportunities for growth. When you're offering a product, get your mind off the product. You don't buy a drill bit because the drill bit is so big. You buy it because you're trying to hang a picture of a timepiece or something that's important. Your product, outside of being able to help them achieve what they want, absolutely means nothing to them. So you got to do things that add value to people. Give them a way to get to where they want to go. Provide a path to help them to achieve what they want and help them to be able to improve their performance.
I
Then
love it.
lastly, you got to encourage them to add value, share their testimony, share their witness.
Oh,
Hey,
yes.
this is what I've done that made me great. And then offer opportunity to say, hey, this helped me, and I believe this is going to help you. And people like Natan has mastered this concept. Okay, he's mastered it. You hear the events that he's talking about, what he has, the network he has. That
Ooh,
man, this network is so extensive, it's ridiculous. He's providing ways. He's sharing the wealth. Hey, here are some experts that could do this, that can do that. And there's so many amazing people in that group. And here's because it's so vast, because it's so valuable, it's invitation only. It's invitation only. But once you get inside that group, oh my gosh, there are phenomenal experts, people that can add value to you in ways that you would not even believe. It is so extensive, and I'm just honored to be a part of this amazing network that he has. And so I'm meeting great individuals like yourself, and being able to do more things to help people live out amazing lives. So
well, Coach,
this is the way you want to do
you
it.
are
This is how you do
powerful.
it.
You are powerful. Tell us, how can people connect with you? Because clearly you are powerful, you are inspirational, you are a heart-centered individual. So should an individual, I'm sure people are going to be watching and they're going to want to work with you. They're going, because you're just a very special soul. Hell yeah. So tell us, how can what is your website? How can people connect with you, Coach Williams?
So here's the deal. People can connect with me. You can simply go to Coach A.M Williams. But here's the thing. Um, I'm like, yeah, you want to get around the fire, because the more you get around the fire, it's going to help you get warm. I don't want you to get around the fire. I want to set you on fire. So let me show you how to set you on fire. I have a course called Address BS. Okay. Leland Vanderwall said a man's growth is directly proportional to the amount of truth he can confront about himself without running away from it. I want to show you how to confront the limitation patterns so that you know how to be able to overcome them and break the barriers in your mind, break the barriers, the mental barriers that's causing you to say, I can't do this, I can't achieve that. It's time to address your BS so that you can break through these mental barriers and explore what you're truly capable of. So while you can look at my website, while you can do that, while you can join me on social media, I don't want you to come around the fire. We have great campfire meetings in my social media. I want you to get caught. I want you to be set on fire. And that I'm
That's
going to set you on fire is
awesome.
my AYBS course. And
How
so therefore, I got a course coming up in a couple of weeks. And you can go to AYBS. I want to make sure I got this right. AYBSworkshop.com. AYBSworkshop.com. And here's the deal. Anybody that I usually do this course, it's 3 days, man. Honestly, I've done 3,500, but I was told I was shooting too low because of the what I could do to help people. They told me I was shooting too low. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something super crazy. Every
tell
entrepreneur, every entrepreneur wants capital. So let me be the first person to invest in you. Let me be the first person to invest in you. Okay. So I'm going to do that by buying you. I'm going to put more in this course than I'm going to ask you to put in it. I'm going to give you $2,500 towards my course. I'm going to buy you my time. I'm going to buy you my time by putting $2,500 towards this course and allowing you to make a minimal investment of $1,000 per person to take my course. If you come through Bianca and if you know it come through Natan, I'm only doing it for people that come through you. That's it. I'm doing
wow,
it
that's
because these people
beautiful. What an
have the conscious
opportunity.
choice to invest in it
Woo.
themselves. I'm going to buy them
Thank you, sir.
time with me. I'm going to
Oh,
buy them 3 days with me. I'm a platinum coach.
3 days.
People pay me in excess of $100,000 to work with me. I'm going to buy them. I'm going to make the first investment into them and buy them 3 days with me.
I
I'm going
love
to
You
pay
have a
75% of
doctorate
it.
in management and business, you might kind of know a thing or two. So yeah,
ah,
if you were able to physically put that into action and come from a place where you were an executive and an elite level sport athlete yourself and come through to a place that now you had to learn how to reinvent yourself financially as well. And now you can teach others. If you're in a hospital bed, so was I. We can do this. If you weren't, it's going to get a heck of a lot easier for you then, isn't it, buddy? And that's where we play. So yeah.
I love it. Well, let's do this. We've got 4 minutes left. Let's celebrate the new Laws of Life Roku channel. We'll be back in 20 seconds. Welcome back to the Laws of Empowering Entrepreneurs with my co-host Natan, our guest of honor, Coach Williams. And this show goes live to our new Roku channel and 137 additional stations, including W4CY Radio. Our engineers, thank you so much for all you do behind the scenes to keep our shows hot and fired up. So if anybody out there wants to have your own show, connect with me, come to the summit on Tuesdays, or reach out to me, or book a Calendly from my Instagram, Blanca Laws of Life. And we're back with Coach Williams with 3 minutes left in the game, so to speak. And Coach Williams made an amazing offer, Natan.
You did.
What's your opinion on that extraordinarily generous opportunity.
I would think that if you're silly enough not to take a look, then you might not be at that place in your life that you're ready to do the things that you need to do to make that change. And that's okay. It's not for everybody. It's not at every time. But if you come to that place, if you come to that awareness, if you come to that recollection, if you've come from the bottom and hit rock bottom, if you've come from the top and went, wait, this isn't the top. I know there's more. I don't care what side of the damn spectrum you're on. You need to speak to Dr. Williams.
I love it. And Coach Williams, I just got it. Everyone can go to www.aybsworkshop.com. Thank you, Jason. And it's an amazing opportunity to have the opportunity to travel the journey with Coach Williams for only $1,000. And he's donating essentially $2,500 toward your course to believe in you. And that's where the love comes. That's where you're really being a servant leader and really helping everybody. And we appreciate you for that, Coach. Who taught you the definition of love, Coach? Who taught you?
I share with people, I cannot say that I got here on my own. I got here because of my faith in God. I'm an unapologetic Christian, and through his example, sharing his son with us, to be able to redeem this world. God himself, he is love. And he taught me love, and he's teaching me love every day. It's not anything you master. They always taught me it's okay to go to the school of knowledge, just don't ever graduate. So I'm always learning about love. Always learning about love. I'm always learning how to value people more, how to add value to people, how to do things that create value for people, give them opportunities to move from the foyer of life into more of the things that they want. I'm always doing it. So I go to the school of knowledge, but I don't ever graduate.
I love
will
it.
share this.
He shares in that love. He shares in that love because Coach Williams and I, we have a unique love for each other, man, and we appreciate each other in a crazy way, and we're supporting each other in the most unique ways. It's wonderful.
I can tell. I can feel the brotherhood, and now our new brother sisterhood, Coach Williams. I felt a lot of love in this show, but that's also, it's like now what I believe, and we got to close now, but Natan became my brother, and now Natan's brothers and sisters become mine, and mine his, and we just keep building the family. So welcome to the family, Coach Williams. We're now related.
It's a pleasure and honor. Thank you.
And I want to have a one-on-one with you. I want to have you as a guest. I want to thank you for joining us today and sharing your laws of empowering entrepreneurs. You are an inspiration. Natan, once again, you've hunted the world to find the treasure chest of the most amazing souls. You've done it yet again.
Thank you.
Everyone, join us every Thursday at 11 a.m. We'll see you next time. Stay safe and stay empowered next time.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet.